What's up? This is DJ Echo Vibes, and you're tuned in to Behind the Beats. Today we're talking about something real. What happens when a DJ gets hurt at a gig? We've got true stories, what it does to your mind, and how to fight back and heal. It's more than just music. Let's get into it.
Turntable spinning, interviews hitting. Catch the rhythm of the stories they spitting. Production gems, stacks in the sheets. The engine that hums, yeah, behind the beats. Behind the beats, storylines unfold. Truths untold, now shining like gold. Voices vibing, keeping it elite. It's the podcast, Behind the Beats. Behind the Beats.
Welcome to Behind the Beats. Look, let's get this straight right off the bat. Violence is just never okay. Full stop. Our thoughts are with anyone who's ever had to deal with it.
Absolutely. It's a serious issue.
And, well, you're probably tuning in because, let's face it, DJ safety, that feeling of vulnerability, it's something you've likely thought about, maybe even experienced firsthand. So this deep dive, it's really about equipping you. It doesn't matter if you're just starting or you've been doing this for years. This is essential stuff.
Definitely. Knowledge you need in this line of work.
Okay, so let's jump right in. That immediate reaction, you're in a situation, it turns physical. Those first 10 seconds, they're absolutely critical.
So critical. It's all about survival and escape in that moment.
Exactly. And the number one thing, above absolutely everything else, your safety. Forget the gear. Seriously. Equipment can be replaced, but you can't be.
That's the golden rule. You have to be ready to just drop everything, leave the expensive stuff, and get yourself out of danger.
Drop it and run if you have to.
Yeah. Your reaction might be pure instinct, but just having that thought process, escape first, that can make a huge difference under pressure.
Right. So why does this happen so often? We saw the survey. Pretty shocking, actually. Over 30% of working DJs said they faced some kind of physical confrontation or assault.
30%?
Yeah.
That's not just a few isolated incidents.
No. It tells you this is a real prevalent problem.
It really does.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, it often feels like the venues, the clubs, they're just not prepared. The security isn't always up to scratch.
We've heard some stories that really back that up. Like Peter's experience, he's DJing, refuses a song request, doesn't fit the vibe.
Happens all the time.
Right. And the guy picks up a bottle, starts threatening him. Peter tries to calm things down, but nope, the guy and his mates are waiting outside afterwards.
Wow, okay.
Thankfully, Peter wasn't alone, but he said nobody else, like the locals in the bar, seemed willing to step in earlier. And the venue staff, where were they?
That's a complete failure on multiple levels, isn't it? Staff should have been on that initial threat inside.
You'd think so.
And for the guy to feel bold enough to wait outside, that suggests, maybe security wasn't visible, wasn't effective, or maybe there were just no clear rules there.
And Peter said it almost made him quit playing smaller places entirely. Understandable, really.
Totally understandable. And sadly, it's not unique. You mentioned Joe and Jason.
Yeah, they heard Peter's story and basically said, yep, sounds familiar. Enough threats, enough dodgy situations over the years. They just stopped playing local bars. Too risky.
See, that's the impact. If DJs don't feel safe, the experienced ones, they'll just go elsewhere. And that hurts the venues, hurts the local scene in the long run.
Definitely. And it gets worse. Phil, he actually got headbutted. Ended up in the hospital, needed stitches, got a permanent scar just for doing his job.
That's horrific. Just shows how fast things can escalate from, say, a disagreement over a song to serious physical harm.
And Chuck's story. Drunk guy causing trouble inside, gets kicked out, then tries to run Chuck over in the parking lot later.
Jeez. So the danger doesn't even stop at the club door. Safe exit, secure parking, that's crucial too.
Which brings us to Chris's point. He heard about Peter and was like, why didn't the manager step in? Because, forget the DJ for a second. What about the gear? That stuff's expensive.
Exactly. A drunk patron smashing up thousands of dollars worth of equipment.
Yeah.
That's bad for business.
So the venue should care, right? For their own bottom line, if nothing else.
They absolutely should. Good security, staff trained to de-escalate, removing aggressive people before it kicks off. That's just responsible management. Protects everyone, protects their assets.
Carlton had some practical advice, too. He said, basically, call the cops. Don't hesitate.
Right.
He made the point that depending where you are, just verbally threatening someone, especially if there's a weapon mentioned or implied, that could be a felony. Reporting it might stop something worse happening later.
That's a really important point, documenting it officially. But, I can see why a DJ might hesitate in the moment.
Yeah. Like what?
Well, fear of making it worse right then and there, worrying about backlash from the venue or the person's friends,
Yeah.
or just being in shock, not thinking clearly.
Makes sense. It's a high-pressure situation.
But Carlton's right. Getting it on record is vital.
Then you have Brian's experience. Totally different. He played places with, like, huge security guys. Proper bouncers.
The ideal scenario.
Yeah, where the expectation was. Trouble starts, security shuts it down immediately. Big contrast to Peter's story.
Shows what a difference effective visible security makes, doesn't it? Creates a deterrent, lets the DJ actually focus on, DJing.
So risks are real, security can be hit or miss. What about in that split second, things are going wrong? Using your gear as like a shield.
Look, it's an absolute last resort, okay? If you are genuinely trapped and need to create space right now to escape, maybe, using a heavy flight case, pushing a speaker, flipping a table, it might buy you a second.
Just a second to get away.
Exactly. It's purely temporary. A barrier to create distance so you can disengage and run, not to stand and fight. Escape is always, always the priority.
Got it. Escape, not engage. So, moving on to actual self-defense, what works best for a DJ? Often stuck in a cramped booth, maybe.
Okay, first things first. Verbal de-escalation. Always try that first. Seriously. A lot can be diffused just by staying calm, making eye contact, using a steady voice.
Like what? What would you say?
Setting clear boundaries. Something direct but calm. Like, okay, I hear you, but I need you to step back now. Or we can talk about this later, but right now you need to give me some space. Sometimes that's enough.
Right, set that boundary. But if words fail, if it gets physical, what techniques work in those tight spots?
Yeah, close quarters change things. You need stuff that doesn't need a lot of wind up, like a wrist release. Someone grabs your wrist, twist your wrist towards their thumb. That's the weakest point of their grip. Pull sharply away and step back at the same time. It's often unexpected, breaks their hold.
Okay, simple twist and pull. What else for close range?
Elbow strikes. Very powerful up close. Keep your arm bent like 90 degrees and drive that elbow backward. Ribs, face, stomach. Elbows are hard, bony, and you don't need much room to generate force. Much better than trying to punch sometimes in a tight space.
Right, elbows over fists if you're jammed in. What if someone's just crowding you, pushing, getting in your face?
Palm strike. Open hand, fingers slightly bent. Use the heel of your palm. Strike upwards under the nose or straight into the chin. Big stun effect. Less risk of breaking your own knuckles.
Palm strike for a stun. Okay. What if they come right at you, like a charge?
Groin kick. Everyone understands that one. Quick knee lift, kick up at the top of your foot, or even just your knee straight into the groin. Doesn't need to be super hard. It's a vulnerable spot.
Yeah.
Buys you time to move.
Disabling, yeah. And if they grab you from the front, like your shirt or jacket?
Knee strike. Use their grip on you for balance. Grab their shoulders maybe. Pull them slightly towards you as you drive your knee hard into their thigh, groin again, or stomach. Uses your body weight, generates power even if you can't move your feet much.
Using their own hold against them.
Makes sense.
Okay, these seem practical for a booth. Now, the really serious one, eye gouge. You said absolute last resort.
Absolute last resort. We're talking life or death fear here. You need to stop them now to escape. Thumb or fingers straight into the eyes. Hard pressure. It's brutal. Causes extreme pain, disorientation. Gives you that crucial window to break free and run.
Okay, definitely extreme circumstances only. What about in a really packed crowd? Someone's being aggressive, pressing up against you?
Good stomp. Simple, unexpected. Stomp down hard on the top of their foot, aim for the toes. Hurts like hell, creates a moment of surprise, lets you maybe slip away or push through.
Sneaky but effective in a crowd. And if someone's right up in your face, nose to nose, being super aggressive?
Headbutt. Again, surprising in close quarters. Tuck your chin down a bit to protect your neck, then drive your forehead, the hard part, straight into their nose or mouth. It's jarring. Most people don't expect it. Creates an opening.
Sounds intense. What if they manage to grab you from behind, maybe an arm around your neck?
Shove escape. Drop your weight fast. Bend your knees. At the same time, swing both arms out wide and backward. Try to break their grip. As soon as you feel space, pivot, turn to face them, maybe follow up with an elbow.
Drop weight, swing out. Okay? And just generally, if you need to create distance fast.
Basic two-hand chest push. Feet shoulder width apart. Use your whole body weight. Push hard into their chest, not just arms. Lean into it. Creates that immediate space to turn and run.
Simple push for space. What if, worst case, someone tackles you, tries to take you down?
Okay, if you end up grappling, basic clinch control helps. Try to get your arms around the back of their neck and control their upper arms. It's about neutralizing them, stopping them from hitting you easily, buying time until help comes, or you can break free and get up. Some basic grappling knowledge, like from jiu-jitsu, is really useful here.
Wow, okay. That's a lot of options. Just knowing these, I imagine, must give you a bit more confidence, right?
It definitely can. But remember, the goal isn't winning a fight. It's escape. Always escape. So practice moving 2 quick side steps, pivots, getting low, moving towards that exit you already spotted.
You mentioned spotting exits. Situational awareness, you said that's the first line of defense. Why so critical for DJs?
Oh, absolutely paramount. It's not about being paranoid. It's about being present. From the moment you walk in, where are the exits? All of them. Where is security standing? Who looks agitated? Is anyone paying too much attention to the booth early on?
Noticing the small things before they become big things.
Exactly. Catching those nonverbal cues, the angry stares, the clenched fists, the pacing gives you time to alert security, time to mentally prepare, time to maybe even adjust your position slightly closer to an escape route.
Makes total sense. Be aware, be prepared. And you recommended classes, like martial arts. Which ones are best suited for this kind of thing?
Yeah, some formal training is great for building instinct and confidence. Krav Maga is really good. It's designed for real-world street defense, focuses on efficiency and getting away.
Okay, Krav Maga.
Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, or BJJ, is excellent for ground escapes if things do end up on the floor. And Muay Thai, with its focus on knees and elbows, is perfect for that close-range stuff we talked about.
So Krav, BJJ, Muay Thai.
Even just a basic intro course in any of them can make a huge difference. Gives you muscle memory, teaches you how to move, how to react under pressure.
Right. So let's say the worst happens, an attack occurs, the DJ gets away. What next? What's the legal side look like?
Okay, priority 1, you're safe. Now, document everything. Photos of injuries, no matter how small they seem. Write down exactly what happened, step by step, as soon as you can while it's fresh.
Get it all down.
Get names and numbers of any witnesses, anyone who saw anything. Then, file a police report immediately. Get an official record.
Police report, crucial.
And save all communication with the venue, the promoter, anyone involved with booking the gig. Emails, texts, contracts, everything.
Keep the paper trail. And then, pressing charges. Suing.
You might have grounds to press criminal charges against the attacker, yeah. Talk to the police about that, and definitely get legal advice about civil action, especially against the venue if you think they were negligent.
Yeah.
Didn't provide a safe environment.
Wow. That's a lot to deal with, on top of just surviving the attack itself.
Huh.
Which brings us to the psychological side. What does this do to someone?
Oh, the mental health impact is huge. Can't overstate it. PTSD is common, flashbacks, nightmares, constantly feeling on edge, jumpy, especially when thinking about DJing again.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Anxiety, panic attacks, maybe right before a gig, or even during. Depression, losing the joy you used to get from music, anger, distrust towards venues, crowds, even security. And, yeah, serious doubts about whether you even want to keep doing this job.
That sounds incredibly tough. You mentioned a study about this in the nightlife industry.
Yeah, I think it was 2021. Found that people who experienced workplace violence in nightlife were 3 times more likely to quit within 2 years. 3 times.
Wow. That really shows the toll it takes. So, if a DJ has been through this, what does recovery look like? How do you heal?
It's a journey, right? Everyone's different. But key steps. Get checked out medically, even for minor stuff, and document it all. That's important legally, too.
Okay, medical first.
Then therapy. Seriously, find a therapist experienced in trauma. It makes a massive difference. Talking helps process it.
Professional help.
And talk to other DJs. Peer support is powerful. Knowing you're not alone, others get it.
Connecting with others.
And finally, it's okay to take a break. Step back from performing if you need to. No shame in that. Give yourself time and space to heal without the pressure of getting back behind the decks before you're ready.
Really important advice. Okay, let's shift to prevention. Being proactive. How can DJs spot danger before a gig even starts? Scout the venue.
Prevention starts way early. In your contract, put security requirements in writing, dedicated security required. Specify numbers if you can. Make it non-negotiable.
Put it in the rider.
Absolutely. Then, when you arrive, do a walkthrough. Where are all the exits? Who is the security team tonight? Introduce yourself, maybe. And identify your go-to person manager, promoter, head of security, someone you can flag immediately if something feels off.
Know your exits, know your contacts. Good. What about during the set? What should you be looking for?
Keep that awareness up. Scan the crowd sometimes. Look for those nonverbal cues we talked about, aggression, intoxication. Position your gear, if possible, so you have a clear path to an exit. Don't get boxed in if you can help it.
Smart positioning.
And maybe consider a personal safety device. A small, loud alarm. Discreet, but can attract attention fast if you feel really threatened.
Good idea. And after the gig, packing up.
If anything happened, even minor stuff, talk about it. Debrief with the promoter, with security. Hey, that situation felt a bit sketchy.
Feedback helps them improve, hopefully.
Don't just brush it off.
No. And checking with yourself. How do you feel after that gig? Any lingering anxiety? Be honest. Get support if you need it.
It feels like sometimes these things get swept under the rug, though. Is there, like, an industry dirty secret about covering up attacks?
Yeah. Unfortunately, sometimes. Venues, promoters, they might downplay incidents. Why? Reputation, mostly. Bad press. Fear of lawsuits, liability. Wanting to maintain that good vibes only image.
Protecting the brand over protecting the people.
Can feel that way sometimes, which is why it's so important for DJs to speak out, share experiences, advocate for better standards, like DJ Rebecca talking about what happened to her in Ibiza. That was huge. It empowers others, forces the conversation. Right, breaking the silence is key. So, knowing all this, what specific safety stuff should DJs demand in their riders now? Make it standard practice.
Your rider is your power tool here. Be specific. Mandate dedicated security, maybe even a number based on capacity or a security-to-guest ratio. Demand clear, written emergency protocols from the venue.
Protocols, okay.
Insist on well-lit, secure paths to and from the booth and to your car or transport. And definitely a named contact person for security issues during your set.
Get it all in writing beforehand.
Exactly. Remember DJ D-Nice stopping his set, calling out bad behavior, demanding security step in. Having those rider clauses gives you the backup, the contractual right to do that if you need to.
Yeah.
It sets the expectation.
This has been, wow, really eye-opening. Heavy stuff, but so important for anyone DJing. If you had to boil down, what's the main takeaway here?
Simple, really. You have the right to be safe at work, period. You have the right to defend yourself if you need to, and you have the right to heal fully, physically and mentally if something happens.
Couldn't agree more. And a final thought for you listening. Don't wait for something to happen. Be proactive. Really look hard at the safety of your gigs before you take them. Start putting those safety clauses in your riders, make them standard. And talk to other DJs. Share info, support each other, work together to make things safer. Because knowing this stuff, being prepared, that's not about being scared. It's about taking back control so you can do what you love without fear.
Turntable spinning, interviews hitting. Catch the rhythm of the stories they spitting. Production gems, stacks in the sheets. The engine that hums, yeah, behind the beats. Behind the beats, storylines unfold. Truths untold, now shining like gold. Voices vibing, keeping it elite. It's the podcast. Behind the beats.